The officer took a bite of an apple in front of the prisoner, not expecting the prisoner to grab a grenade and pretend to bite it. The soldiers immediately raised their guns and aimed at him. However, Nick's provocative behavior infuriated the lieutenant. As he was about to teach Nick a lesson, Nick remained calm and even started to gag repeatedly. Then, slowly, he pulled out a metal trinket from his mouth. The officer's expression turned to shock as he wondered where the trinket had come from. Suddenly, a cheerful jingle rang out, and the lieutenant frantically searched Nick but found nothing. In the next moment, Nick unexpectedly pulled a pocket watch from his waist. The lieutenant was stunned. When did the watch end up with Nick? Enraged, the lieutenant raised his fist to strike Nick, but in the next instant, the pocket watch returned to the lieutenant's pocket. At that point, he was left in disbelief. Since Nick posed no real threat, the soldiers began to enjoy his performance, and his antics made them all burst into laughter, causing them to let their guard down. What they didn't know was that this amusing character was actually the enemy's reconnaissance captain, and everything was part of Nick's plan. Seeing the perfect opportunity, Nick dropped the grenade and quickly ran into the warehouse. The officer immediately ordered the soldiers to capture him. Just as they were getting ready to pull the trigger, they didn't expect Nick to come out running comically with a wooden barrel on his head. The soldiers laughed at him and gathered together to joke about the barrel. However, when they lifted the barrel, they discovered it was empty. Nick had vanished. Everyone began searching for Nick, and the next second, a cat's meow suddenly came from the roof. The soldiers looked up and saw Nick mimicking a cat. The soldiers relaxed again, unaware of how Nick had pulled it off. Nick's magical abilities posed a threat to the officer, who had no idea where Nick would appear next. In response, the officer threatened Nick with hostages, telling him to come down immediately or the two girls would be in danger. Faced with the officer's threat, Nick decided to comply. To everyone's surprise, he jumped directly off the roof, shocking the officer. The soldiers rushed to check on Nick, thinking he was dead. But when the officer turned around, he saw that the imprisoned girls had vanished. The officer immediately ordered the soldiers to stay alert. Suddenly, gunshots rang out, and then Nick, who was thought to be dead, slowly crawled up from the ground, raising his right hand.